And we are live. So welcome back, and in this stream we are going to fix this question page so it looks more like this one. So we need to add some statistics here. This button, this voting mechanism or voting, I don't know, tool. Then tags here, and some information about who left this question, and here answers, and also comments that can be both on answers and on questions. So for now we have only question title and body, so let's jump back to our question form. So those are the only things that we save to the database right now. It's question title and the body. So the next thing we will need is actually tags. So let's add some tags. I will Google tags for React. And so we can use maybe those. $24,000 here, and those have, okay, those are not popular, so we'll use those instead. Yeah, so let's install tags. So we go to our client directory because we will install tags on our front application in React. So it's cd client and then yarn add because we use yarn, and now yarn add react tag auto complete, enter. So let's see how we can use it. Well, it looks simple. So meanwhile it installs, we need to add a table for tags because we need to define them. So new table tags. Every tag will have an ID that will be primary key, auto increment, not null. And the next thing will be name, and will be varchar. I guess 255 will be enough, and I think that's it. We don't need anything else. It's just ID and the name. So, okay, let's create the stable. And now we have those tags here. Let's create some tags directly in the database. So first will be PHP, and the next will be JavaScript, and the next will be nodejs, and the next will be reactjs, and some more, and express. All right, so let's close this and let's go to our ask page component. Yes, here we have the form to leave the question, and above this button we want to add some tags input. So here we want to add those tags. We need to first import it like this, nothing complicated, and then they ask us to use state to define tags and suggestions. All right, so let's do this. Const tags, set tags will be state, and it will be an empty array, because in the beginning we will not have any tags selected here. But when it comes to suggestions, tag suggestions and set tag suggestions, use state, will be also empty on the beginning. So we need to load those tags from the database. So we need to import also use effect from React, and we will create a function here that will fetch those tags, all the tags we can add to the form. So fetch tags, or maybe get tags, and in here we'll use axios get http localhost 3030/tags. That's simple enough. All right, then we will have the response, and with the response, inside the response we have data with the tags. So we need to set those tags, and those tags will be actually tag suggestions. So let's do set tag suggestions response data. All right, and then now we need to create this endpoint. So if we go to our API directory, we have index of our app, question routes, user route, and let's create a new routes file that will be used for our tags. So new file, tag route. Well, let me check if it's plural here. No, it's singular. Tag routes.js. And here we will import express from express, and as always we'll create tag routes, and this will be express.router, and export default tag routes. Here we need to add our first route, that will be get tags, and then we will have request and response like this. We can actually remove one on each side. Alright, so now let's return our tags. So we need to use database, and it has been important, our connects connection, and then we want to select everything. So asterisk from tags, then, and here we will have our tags. Then we want to send some response, and response JSON tags. And if something goes wrong, we do just response status 422 and send. That's it. Now if we go back to our ask page, as you can see, this function is gray because it's not used yet. So to use it, we need to use effect get tags, and the second param needs to be passed as empty array here. Don't forget about it, otherwise it will be calling this function like non-stop. So let's refresh and check if we get anything here. Here are tags, we get 4 on tags. Let's see why. Not found. Okay, I forgot. We created new routes file, but we haven't added it yet. So let's go to app.js. No, not app.js. To our API and index. And here we need to add our routes for tags. So app use tag routes. Let's see what's wrong here. Okay, I don't know why it has been placed. It has been misplaced. It shouldn't be in the node modules. It should be in API. So let's open API node modules. No, let's do like this move. And this. I don't know what happened here, but I missed something. We miss some information here. Let's go back. Yeah, so this needs to be moved outside. Oh, let's try again. Move outside node modules, and it didn't work. And I don't know why, but I will just paste everything and re-import express from express, and it should be from, and const tag routes is express router. It's probably IDE that tried to be smarter, but it's not. And now let's go to index and try again tag routes. Yeah, and it has been imported here. Let's add .js, and now this should work. Let's see. Something went wrong. Let's delete this old file. delete. Okay, we have an error. Cannot load module. Okay, let's see. In our tag routes, yeah, we forgot to add nodejs. And like this. Okay, now we get tags here. That is really good. So the next thing will be to add this input. So let's go back to ask page. And here we need to place this input. We already added this React tags component. So let's see how they do this in the demo here. And we just place this. We need to create a reference. Also, as they do it here. So let's do like this. And let's do this. React tags equals react create ref. Alright. In tags we'll use tags. In suggestions we'll put tag suggestions. On delete we want to run another function on delete and on addition. So let's add new functions, maybe here. Function on the tag addition and function on tag delete. Let's just console log arguments. Same for both. Alright, and this one doesn't work. Let's see why. Yeah, we need to fix those. So on delete we want to run on tag delete, and here we want to run on tag addition. Still something is wrong. React tags is undefined. A reference. Okay, and we need to create a reference in different ways, so let's check it. Create reference function component. And yes, here we have we just need to move it outside this function. Let's put it at the top. Const React tags. And here we will change this to just React tags. And I guess now it works. Yes. So check this, PHP Bach. But it's not showing yet. Let's see why. Because we need to fix on addition and on delete. All right, let's do this. So when someone run this function, we will get this tag object. And the only thing we need to do is to add this to our tags. So let's do const tags current chosen tags is tags, because we have them from here. And then chosen tags, we need to push the new tag. And then we want to set tags and the chosen tags. And this should work. Let's see. PHP. Yes, it works. And now, I don't know, maybe JavaScript. JavaScript. It works. Now on deletion, nothing happens. Let's see. Yeah, nothing happens because we need to fix this on tag delete function. And as you can see, when we call this function, we just get an index of what tag we want to delete. So let's call it index, and const chosen const previous tags will be tags. Then we want to remove a tag. So all right, let's do it like this. We will add a for loop. Let a equals 0. A is is smaller than tags length, and I plus plus. Then we will also add the new tags, and if the I is different than index, let's maybe rename it index to delete, then we can add two new tags, push, and here we put tags of this index, and here set tags, no, not tags, new tags, like this. And let's see if it works. Yes, it works. PHP, JavaScript, nodejs, Yeah. So first let's put it above the button. Here. And how to style this. It is possible to customize the appearance of the component. The included styles found the example styles are only example. Alright, so we need to create some CSS for those. So JavaScript, PHP, let's import this CSS. Import everything from React tag autocomplete dist. How can we import those? I think we can't. Let's try here. See if we have anything. React. Client node modules. React tag autocomplete. And we don't have any style CSS. So I guess we need to do this by ourselves. Everything should work now. Alright, so let's go to our app.js, and we have some global styles somewhere here. Yes, we do. And here we add some styles for tags functionality. So let's start with our input. Let's make this bigger. Input dot, and then let's add some stuff here. So border 1 pixel solid, like this. Background none. And let's see what was the border of this one. Or let's just copy all of those. Like this. Yeah, much better. Now the tags, we want to use same tags as we have here. So let's add a class for now, tag. And let's copy this. We'll do them little. No, let's make it this way. Ask a question. Let's see, PHP. Okay, well, here we have selected tags. like this. Here we have the outer element for all the tags. So display inline block. Like this. And the search should also be display inline block. React tag search. Okay, this is the search input, and here we want to add those. So like this, display inline block. Now they are next to each other. And on the input, let's put min width of maybe 100 pixels at least. No, 200. Alright, so the next thing will be, let's see. JavaScript. The input margin bottom, we need to remove this. And instead we margin bottom 20 pixels here. Right, sorry, not here, but in this one. Margin bottom 20 pixels. And like this. Now let's see. What do we have here? Now let's add React, and let's make this one focused, active. I would like to have this one open, to open suggestions. Okay, never mind. Let's have it this way. Alright, so now we can remove those. And we can add new. But I want to have like big input around those. So I will copy everything from here. Border. Maybe not everything, but border radius, like this, and from this input I will remove everything. Border will be none. let's see, what do we have left here? PHP. I want to see how it looks on Stack Overflow. Ask question. Okay. Alright, so it looks like this. Let's see, border 0 Chrome remove border input. Border from input. How to remove outline around? Yes, it's this one, outline none. So where's the input? Here. So even if it's focused, we want to outline none. And let's see how it works. Yes, it works. And here let's add also some padding. Padding 15 pixels. And let's make this bigger. Yes, it works. So I can add the JavaScript. And maybe nodejs. React tags underscore suggestions. React tags underscore suggestions, position absolute. Yeah. Looks nice. So that will be all for styling the tags. Now we want to save them to our database. So we need to create a connection between questions and the tags we used. So we need a new table, and let's call this one question tags. And here we have a question ID and also tag ID, and that will be all we need. Execute. Yes, so let's go now to our ask page. Let's make this a little bigger. So here we have now our tags that are here. Here we have selected tags. Here we have tag suggestions, so all the tags that are possible. Here we have the selected tags. So we need to go back to our send question function. And here, as you can see, we send title and content. And the one more thing that we need is tags. And that's all we could actually do like this. But this is not needed because the names will be the same. All right. We could we don't need the tags with the names, so we could actually send only IDs. So we could use tags map tag.id. And let's see. And test. And here maybe PHP and JavaScript. Alright, yes. Let's go to network tab and clean everything. And let's post question. Looks something went wrong. Let's see. Okay, we are not logged in. That's why it failed. So let's log in first. Test example.com and test. Ask question. Test PHP test. No, we can't add new tags, but that's good. So the next thing, let's maybe also add JavaScript. Now let's post question. And let's see. Yeah, here we send the tags. Alright, so now let's go to our where we save the question. So it will be question routes. Alright, here we have list question. Here we list questions. Here we get question. So let's open when we post question. Alright, so here we get title content. Let's also add tags. And the thing with tags is that for each tag ID, we can actually put as tag IDs. For each tag, we want to add a new row in question tags. So after it's done with putting new question to the database, we get the ID that is here. Let's maybe rename this to question ID. And here we need to put rows inside this question tags. So let's do this. So db question tags insert and here we need the question ID. That will be question ID and tag ID. That will be many tags. So we need to first loop through our tags. And we can actually create an error. We could loop through the tag IDs and do an insert for each tag. Or we could actually prepare all the rows we want to insert before we insert. So we can insert all the rows at one time. So let's do a const. And here let's create the question tags. Will be an empty array. But for tag, for each tag IDs, tag ID, we will put the question tags. and we'll put the question ID to question ID and tag ID to tag ID. This is the column name, this is the value, this is the column name, and this is the value. So after this loop we have these question tags prepared. So it has all the rows we want to put with all the tags. So here we will just run insert all the tags here, so question tags. And after it's done, we want to respond with this. So we do this. Otherwise, we want to do for to 2, so we know something went wrong. Okay, we can save it, and let's close this endpoint, fold disk endpoint. Right, let's go here, ask question, test, and here PHP. Yeah, why not JavaScript? Test tags too. And let's try to pose the question. It didn't work. Let's see why. Let's see what was the error. Question routes 22. I will restart the server. And I will try again. Same error. (42), but we don't know which one. So we get this error here, and we get error here. And what we want to do is to console log the error. Let's see. Cannot read property for each on undefined. Okay, so it looks like this will not work this way. So let's console log the tag IDs, and we can remove this part because we know what is wrong. Let's clear this. But still wrong. It's undefined. Right, that is not good. But let's fix it. Tag IDs. Okay, so this one says that tag IDs is undefined. How is that possible? I don't know. Okay, that's because the name of it is tags. So it's not tag IDs. So to have it named tags IDs, we need to do tag IDs request body tags like this. Now we can remove this console log because it should work now. Let's post question. Yes, it worked. And let's see in our question tags. Yeah, we have question ID of 10, have tag ID of 1 and 2. So it works. What is the next thing? The next thing will be that we want to make this page prettier, finally. So let's go to Stack Overflow. Let's open a question. So as you can see, they have some voting system and they have tags here and author information, share, edit, and add comments. So we'll start with those. All right. So let's open our question page. And the first thing will be to display those tags. So let's do this. We don't have tags here, I guess. We have question. Let's try, maybe tags are already provided. So question, no, tags will not be provided. We need to go first to our endpoint that sends back the question, and we need to fetch tags. So we need to save those tags in our state. So let's do const tags and set tags. We use state of an empty array. And here we will do response. Let's go now back to our endpoint when we send back the question. So it's question routes here. So we need to question get and the ID of the question here. So here we send the question, but instead we need to send several elements. So it will be questions and the tags. So here we need to also fetch tags from the database. So let's do this. DB select, and we want to select everything from question tags because we want only tags that are connected to this question. And then we want to, if we just select everything from question tags, we will get only IDs, and we want also the names. So we need to join. We need to join the tags. So I think it will be this way. Tags. We join tags on tags ID equals question tags tag ID, and then okay, db.row. Now I want to use regular join. Let's see how to do this. Connects join. Join contacts. Yes, I want to do this way, so it will be prettier. Yeah, now it looks much better. Let's close this thing. And then we'll have our tags. So we can, in the response, we can return both question and tags. So let's refresh here. And let's check the response. So as you can see, we have both the question now and tags. And inside each tag we have ID and the name. So that is really good. Let's go back to a question page. And to fix everything, now we have both question send. So to onset question, we need to give data question, and on set tags we want to give response data tags. Okay, now we have tags inside this tags state, so we can print those tags here underneath. So we do tags map, and for each tag we will do okay, let's see how tags are displayed on the home page. Let's add some empty stuff here. Questions page, question row. Okay, so we have tag here, but it's only styled component, so we want to move this somewhere here. New file, tag.js. New file, tag.js. And we want to copy this. Alright, we will do functional component, and we will rename this to styled tag, and we will just return styled tag here. And let's export default tag so we can use it in question page. Tag. Okay, let's go to test tags too, but those are empty. We need to put some text. So every tag needs a name. So let's also import prop types. From prop types, and now let's add prop types here. Prop types, So the name with prop types string required. So now, as you can see, there's a warning here that it misses name, so we can add it here. So the name of the tag is tag.name, because we got whole object here. And let's see, it doesn't work. Right, let's see why. Okay, I know why, because we don't use the name we provide. Alright, so here we need to do like this. Name and name here. Now it works. Alright, so now let's add we can do either this voting system or who asked. I think we will start with who asked. So let's go back to our question routes, and here where we select everything from the post where we have our question, we want also to join the author of the question. So we join users table, and it will be on users ID that needs to be equal to the posts, and I think the author ID is the column. Yes, author ID. Now let's go back to our app and let's see if we get the author information. So no, we don't. Something fails. So users ID, post, author ID. Something is wrong. Let's see. Mouse more cannot remove header. Alright, maybe you just need to remove this thing. Okay, something is wrong again. And I know it's because this users ID equals posts author ID. Okay, let's check it. Here we have posts. Author ID is 1. Okay, I think that the problem is that there are too many columns, and there are columns that have the same name, so there's ID here and ID on posts. So we need to fix this in question routes. We can't select everything. Instead we will select questions ID. We'll select everything from questions, and from users we just want email. And let's see if this will work. No, this doesn't work. And let's see why then. Let's console log the error. Bad table. Okay, there's no table named questions. That's why. Here we use posts. Okay, now what do we get? Column ID in where clause is ambitious. I don't know how to read this, but the problem is that there is ID in both. Connects cheat sheet. Let's see how to select. Right, and in the join, let's see. What it will happen if we select just post ID? Still the same problem. Let's Google how other people are dealing with it. Alright, so the problem is actually here in the where clause. They want to know what ID needs to equal this ID. So the answer is posts ID. Now it works, kinda. Can we return all the columns? Yes, we can. Right, so now it works. Now we should have the author inside the question. Yes, we have this email. We don't want to return everything. Let's do post everything, but from author, just email. And let's see it again. It doesn't work. What if we do this way? Doesn't work. Let's Just trying this. Okay, never mind. Let's just return everything. But this doesn't work anymore. Outer email. Okay, now it works. Right, so the next thing we will do is to display the outer here. So next to our tags on question page, we want to show it here. So we need to create a div that will hold both tags and asked by. Let's call this maybe question meta. Const question meta, because it will have meta information, is styled div that will have display grid and grid template columns, one FR. Alright, so now this will be 50-50. How about main content on the second one? So let's put it in action. Question meta. So here we have our tags will go first in the first div, and inside the second div we will have this outer information. So question, and here we have email. Cool, it works. Now we want to make this one more like this one. So let's go to questions page and the question row, and as you can see there's this who and when, and here we have userling. Let's see how it looks like. Yeah, we will create a new component base of this. So new file, user link .js, and it will not be a tag. Instead it will be a link to a profile page, but we don't have public profile pages yet. So import link from React router DOM, and here it will be styled link, and let's name it styled user link, and now will be function that will be called user link, and it will return only this styled user link. And let's export this user link, export default All right, so now we can let's also add this who and when. So question row, who and when. New file, who and when.js. Like this. Style, who and when. And the function, who and when. And here we'll just return style, who and when. That's all, and export default who and when. Now if we go back to our question page, let's go back also here to question page. Instead of this, we can actually use our who and when. We don't know when, X time ago for now, and we want also to put userlink here, and the name will be question email. We don't have usernames yet or names. Alright, so let's remove this one and let's see how it looks like. And it's not even visible. Right. Let's see why. Let's go to question page. Let's see here if we have it. Yes, we have it, but it's empty. Let's see why. Question page. I don't know why, but what if we add some more? Okay, I don't know why, but it doesn't want to display anything. What if we remove the userlink? X time ago. Who and when. Styled who and when. Do we have any errors? Nothing specific. Alright, so this style who and when is used here. Who and when is used here. Let's go to question page and let's see. Alright, so I will try to console log to see what is wrong here. Who and when. Console log. Okay, it looks fine. But now let's see in question meta. Let's maybe put this under the header. Here. and it is here, but it is empty. We have some information here. Okay, but we don't pass it. I think that's why we got props here, but we don't put the props. Okay, now it works. Alright, so let's move it back to here, and here we have userlink with question email. But I guess we also missed this part. Props, and we need to pass all the props back here. Yeah, now it kind of works. Styled userlink. Alright, it's a link to /prof/ user/ and the ID that I guess we don't have yet, but let's add it anyway. Props ID. So it gets undefined here. Alright, we don't need this to work for now. We will do profiles, public user profiles later. Alright, so the next thing will be this voting here. So let's go to our question page. So we have header, we have body, we have meta here. So we need to put meta and body on the right side and voting system on the left side. So this part, let's call it question body. So I'll create a new style component for this. Const question body will be a styled div, and it will be also a grid, but here we want to do the first of, I don't know, maybe 50 pixels. So the first column will be much smaller. Now we need to put everything inside question body. We also need here after the header we will do question body. So the first thing will be this voting, and the next, let's do diff voting, and the next thing will be all other stuff that are here and here, so meta and the body, the actual body. So let's put it here, save. Yes, so we have voting here and we have the content here, and let's add some spacing, column gap, maybe 20 pixels. Alright, so I also want to add this line here, so it's under the title here. So for now it's header 1, but we will create a new style component that will be named question title. So question title is styled header 1, And now let's see. Let's just do border bottom 1 pixel solid RGBA 255, 255, 255, and 0.1. Alright, this doesn't work because we forgot about the equal sign. And now it's not used yet. Let's use it. Question title. Yes, it works, but let's add some padding. Padding bottom 10 pixels. Let's see. Yeah, now it works. Alright, so now let's do this voting system here. So we have our up, our down, and the number. Right, so we need to create a new element. Let's call it voting tool. Maybe voting buttons. Right, so and here we will have this main function that will be called voting buttons, the same as file. It will return vote. For now, that will be it. And export the default voting buttons. Let's also use it. Voting buttons. Okay, so we need to have those triangles. So first I will check and if there is an ASCII for that. So this will be easier. And triangle up. Yes, there is. Let's see what will happen if we just use those. This is up and this one is down. And let's see what do we have. Yes, this will work. First, let's put it inside the buttons. Yes. And now in the middle, we want some digits, so it will be 0 in the beginning. Almost done. So let's import style components here. And let's define arrow button. That will be a styled button. And here let's put border to 0 and background to 0, background to none. And those will be replaced with arrow button. Alright, font size of, I don't know, maybe 2 rem. Yes, we are getting there. Color will be almost white, so it will be, I don't know, DDD. Too bright, BBB. Yes, this one looks nice. And let's add cursor pointer. Yes. Next thing is the digit. So the digit will be named total, styled div, text align center, total, and we'll also need text align center on the buttons. It doesn't work yet. Let's see why. Okay. We need to put some width on both of those. Here and here. Yeah, now it's better. Let's also add some padding. Can we have them prettier? No, but we can use triangles in CSS. Triangle CSS. So arrow up is this. So const arrow up is styled div. And now let's put arrow up here. Arrow up. Yeah, it's small, but it works. Let's try with 50 here. Now it's too big. Maybe 30. Yeah, this one almost works. Alright, let's maybe see how big is it. It's too big. Let's remove padding. Alright, now let's make this one, let's make the row a little bigger. So the button is now 72. Let's make it those 25. Alright, this one work. And here let's do BBB. Okay. Now we need also arrow bottom. Arrow bottom. And let's use it. Arrow bottom. Yes, it works. Let's check the width of those buttons. It's 50 pixels. So 62 if we check also the padding, but let's remove the paddings. Now it looks much better. Now for the top we need to add some padding. So let's try with 15 pixels on the top and the bottom and nothing from the sides. And maybe a little bit smaller, like 10. Font size 1.4 rem. Yeah. And they are too bright, so let's make it 888. Yeah, much better. And the total will have also color of 888. Alright, so now it works. Now let's maybe make the sizing better. The triangles need to be a little smaller. (20 pixels). And the total, let's try with 40. Yeah, now it's better. And the total, let's decrease the paddings. And also line height of 1.4 rem. All right, almost good. It looks good enough. Little more padding on the bottom. Yes, and now for the whole thing. No, nothing from the whole thing, because this one looks good enough. Let's see. Alright, this should work. So let's go to question page, and on question title let's add some margin bottom of also 10 pixels. No, more, 20. Alright. Now that has too much. Okay, this is how it looks like. And we will put all the props here. And on the question page, where we have these voting buttons, we'll add some style here. And the margin top of, I don't know, 10 pixels. Yes. And from the question title, let's remove this margin button. Yeah, now it's much better. Let's see this one. Looks cool too. And I want to put more information in these test tags too. So let's go to posts, or I guess it's this one. Set language to markdown, and let's edit this one. All right, and I don't know how to do line breaks, but I will just copy this. test with tags. Yeah, now it's much better. So we have voting, but it doesn't do anything. So on the voting buttons, we want to add some prop types. So import prop types from prop types, and on the bottom let's do voting buttons prop types, and on this thing we needs to have some props that will be required. So the most important thing will be post ID, and prop types integer, no, number, and is required, and we need post ID, so when we click on any of those, then we know where to post the information to what question. Alright. Or instead we could put value here, and 2 actions for those errors. On arrow up click, that will be prop types function, and is required. I don't know how is it, callback is required, yes. On arrow down click, prop types call back is required. Okay, prop types function. Let's see, function prop types string function func. Okay, and let's remove those. Now it works. So question, so function cannot be required. So let's go to question page, and then voting buttons will blink that it needs some value. For now the value will be 0, but we need also on arrow up click, and on arrow down click. So when someone clicks those, we want to send this information to our database. We could add a column to posts table, but then we will not know who clicked the arrow. So we need a new table. Let's call it votes. The first will be ID, auto increment, primary key, and the next will be post ID, Yeah, that's fine. And the next thing will be author ID. I don't know, maybe voter. No, author ID. Or user ID. And that's all. Let's execute it. Okay, so now we have votes table. So now when someone clicks on our app, we want to run handle on our app click. So let's add functions for that. Function handle on arrow app click, and same for arrow down click. So when someone clicks, it will add 1, and when someone clicks here, it will do -1. Alright, so let's do this. So we also need to know if any of these are active. So let's add also a current vote. Vote, and this can be 1 or -1. Alright, so let's do like this. And we need to use value here. Props value. And if someone voted +1, then we need to make this one active. And if someone clicked on this one, we need to make this one active. Right, so let's first check how to do this in style the components props. Props. Okay, here is how it works. So we will add here a prop called active, and it's active if props vote is 1, and on the second one, active is if the props vote is -1. And here on arrow button, we can do it like this, and in color we will do like this. Props active, if so, if not. If so, then it will be, I don't know, BBB. Let's see if it works. No, it does not. The vote is 1. Arrow button. Let's maybe put it here, props vote. Yeah, it is one. Let's see here. Arrow button. Okay, this doesn't work because it's not the color that is here. Instead, it's the color that is here. And here. And those need to be moved here. Same with this one. Let's make this structured blur. Yeah, now it's highlighted here. We also need to disable this button if it's highlighted. Let's see. Button disabled. Alright, and same for the bottom button. Disabled. And if it's disabled, cursor default cell crosshair. No, not this one. Move, no drop. CSS blocked cursor. Let's see. Not allowed. Now we also want to have a pointer, but let's add some color here. Let's make it the same color. So if it's disabled, then the child will have border color of this. Okay. Didn't work as I wanted. And it's because those two are but we can copy this thing. and we can put it here. Like this, and like this. I would like to have this orange actually. Where is the color? Okay, here and here. It's really dark. Let's go back to the start page and see if we can get this color maybe from here. Like this. Like this. Now it's much better. Alright. So now let's fix the callbacks here. So on click, we will do props on arrow up click, and on this one on click we will have props on arrow down click. All right. This one looks nice. This one looks nice. Now we can go back to a question page. And we can write those functions here. So we have also vote here that we need to put in state somewhere. Right, so const vote set vote use state, and it will be null by default. And we need to fetch it from the database. So let's make it 0 for now. And let's put it here. No, not here. Here. Alright, the next thing is that we need to fix those functions handle on arrow up click and handle on arrow down click. Alright, so to do this, we need to write some code here. So when someone clicks on arrow up, we want to do axios post and HTTP localhost 3030 vote up and the question ID. Question ID. No data, but with credentials. All right, then. And then we will get the, let's say we will get from the API the current vote number, current vote number, and we will set vote current vote number, and we will it's not question, it's question, and we'll do the same for vote down, but here it will be down. Now we need to use the functions here, so here will be handle on arrow up click, and here will be handle on arrow down click. All right. And now let's go to our API. So it's it will be a new endpoints here, endpoints, because it's vote. So let's create a new file in API, and we will create the vote routes. Vote routes.js, and as always let's import express from express, and let's const vote routes equals express router, and export default vote routes, and let's also use it in our index.js in API, so we don't forget about it. App use vote routes. All right, so now we can add the vote routes get, no, it was post. So it's vote, and then there is up or down, so let's call it direction, and then post ID. Yeah, that's simple. All right, so here we'll have request and response, and now let's use the request and response. So we need direction and post ID from params, request params. When we have it, we will use database to insert information to table votes, but we want to first check if someone didn't already voted. All right, and we will not disable the buttons, so let's quickly go to voting buttons. There will be no disable stuff here. All right. So first let's check if someone voted in this post. So db select db row, and let's select count as C. From votes first, and then we get this row where we have only count so here we can do if row count is bigger than 0, then we know that someone voted. The problem is that the table doesn't say if it's +1 or -1. We don't have it in our table, so we need to modify it. Let's add vote.